There was a hallway in their house that never had a working light. For years, the bulb flickered or went completely out. It was a hallway that connected nothing important, just a side path between the laundry room and the kitchen. But every night, without fail, that hallway glowed. Not because it worked, because of her. She'd place a small lamp on the floor, just barely lighting the path, just in case her son woke up at night, looking for her. When Jacob was 5, he was afraid of the dark. He never said it out loud, not like the other kids who screamed when the lights turned off. Jacob was quiet about it. He just stopped walking if he couldn't see where he was going. His mother noticed. One night, after he had gone to bed, she quietly placed a small lamp at the start of the hallway. Soft, amber light, stretching out just enough to show the way to her room. She never told him. She just did it. Years passed. The lamp changed as he got older, a different shape, a brighter bulb. But it was always there, even when he stopped noticing it, even when he no longer needed it. She still lit the hallway. When Jacob turned 13, he fought her more. Not screaming fights, but silent ones. The kind where he wouldn't answer her when she asked how school was. Where he'd sit at the dinner table with his hoodie on and earbuds in. She'd try. "Rough day?" "Mm-hmm. You hungry?" "Not really." But every night, before she went to bed, she'd pass through that hallway and plug in the light. Still there, still glowing. At 17, he slammed a door. The college brochures were scattered across the kitchen table. She had circled one. He saw the pen marks and lost it. "You don't get to choose my life," he shouted. "I'm not choosing," she said gently. "I'm just showing you a light." He didn't get it then. He thought she was controlling. He didn't realize she was just scared to let him walk into a world without a flashlight. That night, the hallway light was still on. But that was the first night he didn't walk through it. He stayed out late, came home after midnight. She waited, pretending to read. The lamp stayed on. College came. He left, 2 states away. On the day he moved out, she handed him a small box. Inside was a portable reading lamp. "For your dorm," she said. He laughed. "Mom, I'm not 5. She smiled. "No, but you'll still need light sometimes, even if you don't think you do." He rolled his eyes, but he packed it anyway. Years passed. The hallway stayed dark now. She didn't plug in the lamp anymore. Sometimes she walked past it, instinctively reaching for the outlet, but her hand would stop in the air, and she'd sigh. He called her, not often, but enough. "Hey, Mom." "Hi, baby." "I'm not a baby. You'll always be my baby." He groaned, but smiled. At 25, Jacob returned home, a little more tired, a little less certain. He had gone through a breakup, lost a job, moved cities. The world hit him harder than he expected. When he walked through the front door, the house smelled the same, but it felt smaller. His mom looked older, but her eyes were still soft. They didn't talk much that night. He was too tired. She just made him soup and let him sit in silence. When he went to bed, he noticed something. The hallway lamp was plugged in again. It was the same one from years ago. The base was cracked. The shade was tilted. But the light was still gentle, still waiting. He sat on his bed and cried for the first time in a long time. Not from sadness, from safety. 1 year later, she got sick. It was sudden, sharp, the kind of diagnosis that doesn't wait around. He moved back, took care of her, read to her in the evenings like she used to read to him. Sometimes she'd ask him to leave the door open when she napped, and he did. And sometimes before going to bed himself, he'd walk to the hallway and plug in the lamp. The night she passed, the house was quiet. Jacob sat on the floor, in the hallway, back against the wall. The lamp was beside him, still glowing. He picked it up, held it in both hands. The switch clicked off. He sat in darkness for a long time. At 34, Jacob had a son. He was small, soft-eyed, curious, and afraid of the dark. Jacob didn't tell him not to be. He didn't tell him to be brave. He just waited until bedtime. and quietly plugged in a lamp at the start of the hallway. Same outlet, new light, still glowing. Some lights stay with you forever, even when the hands that lit them are gone. Subscribe for more emotional stories about love, memory, and growing up.